Crafty friends. I'm Lonnie Spendlove, your Stampin' Up! Demonstrator here at Creative Juice by Lonnie. And with a blustery entry into November, we are getting ready for some fun folds to teach you today called the diagonal lock card. At least that's what I call it. Maybe it's called something else by someone else, but hopefully you'll enjoy this little easy fun fold. I'm also wearing my Stars and Stripes shirt to remind you to vote. No matter which side of the issues you're on, make your voice heard so that you can feel good about doing your civic duty. One thing I like to remind myself, and maybe this will help you too, is that it doesn't matter as much what is going on in the White House as what is going on in your own house. There's a little thought for you. And I like to follow that up with the scripture from Joshua, I believe. As for me and my house, we will serve the Lord. That's just a little reminder today, as tomorrow is voting day here in the United States. Okay, so let's start crafting. I am starting with, I'm going to show you a couple of different versions of this card. We're going to start with a fall version. And it's Okay, I'm going to skip that thought and move on to the next one. I'm starting with a piece of 11-inch by 4¼ inch cardstock, scored in half at 5½. So that's U.S. measurements. If you're in a different country, you can adjust this as needed. Okay, so I'm using the Changing Leaves bundle. This is an online exclusive, as well as some of our new designer series paper that is called. Suddenly, I don't remember what it's called. Autumn to Remember designer series paper. And I'm using one that I know I could write on, one design that is a little bit more muted that I know I could write on the inside of my card. And then this cute little print. I could use the back side. In fact, I've got another one already made with the trees. But I decided on the other one, I'm going to use the animals. So we're going to use these animals, and both of these are 4¼ inches by 5½, because we're going to cover the entire face of our card. I'm using multi-purpose liquid glue. I like to use this large side, the larger end. Well, if I have any in here, let's see if I've got any. Oh, there we go. And you want to make sure that you're getting all the way to the edges of your paper and then cover it all nicely. Have you already voted? I took mine and dropped it into the ballot box last week. So again, see previous note of it doesn't matter as long as you are doing your civic duty and letting your voice be heard. And sometimes maybe your voice just there might need to be a little bit of a change. A change in the way we do some things. Okay, I'm covering my entire front of my card using this liquid glue to get it nice and covered. This is actually the way it's going to be. And then you're going to take the second piece of designer series paper. I'm using a whole sheet for this card, but we will show you one that's just using a half of a diagonal cut in another card. But it's kind of fun to have a little fun. If one of the designs is softer and you would be able to write your message on it, then go ahead and use it for the whole inside of the card. All right, nice and messy, nice and smoothed out, hopefully. Okay, this is going to go on the inside of my card. Line it up with the edge down here. Okay, beautiful. So there's the inside and there's the outside of my card. The next thing you want to do is bring in a long ruler, and you're going to measure from corner to corner. Doesn't matter which way, as long as it's the opposite corner. It's going to be 7 inches if you're in the United States. So you want to mark it at the halfway point, which is 3½. Remember, it's right by that acorn for me. Then turn your card over, do the same thing on the back.
on the back side of your card. Using a pencil, 3.5. When you use a pencil, you can erase it later. I'm going to move my stamp set out of the way while we're cutting. All right, so then take your card, open it up, and you'll want to cut the same direction both ways. So I'm going to start in the upper right-hand corner of the front of my card. You can line up the corner to the corner, in which case that little dot will be right there in the center. Open up your line, your protector here, and put your cutting blade about in the center. Then you're going to cut from there to the outside corner, from the mark that we made to the outside corner. Same thing on the back. All you're going to do is slide your card up like this, and from this middle corner to the outside corner. This time you want to start on the bottom down here. You don't want to cut inside the middle of your card. You want to cut to the outside corner. So I'm coming in to that middle score line, right, or that middle mark that we made. Close enough. Now you've got this piece cut and this piece cut. Hello, Carlene. And to close this card, you would take the inside and you would just fold it, or kind of move it to the outside. That's the best way to put it. If it doesn't fit exactly right, just use your snips and cut a little bit further, but mine happened to work pretty darn well, just like that. Let's decorate it. I'm going to erase my back mark. So I've already done a little bit of this in preparation. I've cut out and colored with just my Stampin' Write markers. Not even my blends, just my Stampin' Write markers right here, this little piece. Then I have a couple that I already had cut and prepared that I keep inside my box with my stamps. It's handy to have some that are already prepared for you that you can kind of play with. I want this one to be a thank you card. And it says, so I've already stamped the thank you from this sentiment from the stamp set that I'm going to add. I couldn't have done it without you. And this little round die label is also in that same bundle. Okay, let's see how we want to add this to the front of our card. I may want to have one here and one there. Hello, you're never late if you're watching at any time, Nyla. Some little pieces and sprigs. Maybe a little. I just love this little fox though, so I kind of want to see him or the deer. So let's not cover them up. Oh, I just hate covering up any of these cute little guys, but I am going to have to do a little bit of that. Okay, we'll just start adding our pieces to wherever we want. I chose some of the smaller leaves so that it didn't cover up everything. When you are adhering these, you do not want to adhere it to this piece. You only want to adhere it to the front part. So I've got that. I'm only going to adhere this one to the front of my card, not the part that we've crossed over. And that's one of the reasons you may want to cross or kind of make it fit, make it work like this. Slide that in before you start gluing things down. So this is not glued to that piece. I have this larger leaf that I had done, but don't want to make it cover up all these cute little characters. So here we've got, I can see my little fox. I can see my little deer. There, we're back. I apologize about that. Okay, I think we're close. Now I'm going to put this one up on dimensionals and I'll show you another sample made with this, and then we'll make one more version a little differently. So that one I'm also careful not to attach to the back, the inside of my card. I should be making this into a larger screen here. Pardon me. Okay, good. I'm glad that we're back. Sorry about that. We're moving to this screen right here. Ooh, all the technology. Ooh, and then I need to move it from here to here. There you go. Okay, so here is our one of our finished cards. And I've just kind of got everything grouped in the middle. We don't have to do that every time, but this time we did. And then when you open it, it's like this. To close it, we just fold it like that. Isn't that fun? Kind of a fun fold, easy fun fold card. I call it the diagonal lock card if you were joining us late. So there's one of our versions. Maybe I'll do the next one before I show you the one that's already made. Okay, the next one I wanted to do was a Christmas one with this fun stamp set, because I don't know that I've ever shown you this particular one. This is called More Than Autumn. I love it because it has things for the fall, like pumpkins and donuts, eggnog, cider, but it also has things like peppermint, hot cocoa, a little gingerbread man. So we've got a lot of fun things with this one. Let's try making a Christmas version of this same idea. Okay, let's see. I've got a piece of white, also again 11 by 4.25, scored in half at 5.5. I'm going to adhere a smaller piece this time. This is a 4-inch by 5.25-inch piece of our Take a Bow. Take a Bow is really what it's supposed to be because it coordinates with a bow die, but I love the little designs on it, the little print, because it's very Christmassy without having too much going on. So I'm just covering this up. I'm almost out of this liquid glue, so we'll have to get a new one in a minute. Cover that all the way to the edges. And rather than doing a whole piece on the inside, I use the same dimensions. So your basic layer for the front of your card. I've also put a piece already on here, a contrasting piece, a little piece right there. Then rather than doing the whole piece, I took that piece for 4 inches by 5.25 and just cut it diagonally. So we'll put that on the inside. Actually, I'll do that after we do our measurements and cutting. Okay, so again, corner to corner, 7 inches. Mark it at 3.5 so you kind of know where you're going to. And the same on the front. It is kind of a cool fold, isn't it? Carlene said so. It is a very fun fold, and it's pretty simple, really. The only thing you have to do is embellish it once you've got the cut going. Bring our Stampin' trimmer back in. Okay, so here's my card. I'm going to cut from this corner to the center. Line up your score line in the middle and your point at this end, and you should be right in the middle. And that's about right, it looks like, at my mark. Cutting all the way down. Looks like I did pretty good. And then just slide your card and do the same thing at the bottom. So here's, if I get my line up in the cutting groove, the points, and then I'm coming out to the outside of my card like that. We'll erase that. Little mark. Perfect. Okay, so when we, let's put our piece in. This is the piece that I've already cut, and it's perfect. Haha. I love it. And it has the peppermint stripes that we need for our card. You know that when you are mailing cards at Christmas, it doesn't have to be like, you can mail special cards to certain people if you'd like to, or if you have a birthday during the season, go ahead and use your Christmas stamps to create, or holiday stamps to create a card that would be appropriate for a birthday too. So this one would be kind of a fun one for a birthday. See how fun those little stripes show up now when I put that together. So you take your bottom and there you go. Close it up. So I've done a little bit of preparation here in preparation for this. In fact, I've also got some pieces that are already stamped and cut out. Look at all this fun stuff that you don't have to watch me do. But I wanted to show a little bit of coloring on our hot cocoa. Let's see, I'm going to use some of our natural tone Stampin' blends. This is a medium deep, and a medium light. You could use whatever colors you've got, but I'm going to start with the darkest color. So that's my medium deep number 400. I'm going to do this one just around the edges a little bit. So this would be our hot cocoa right here. And I'm just going around the outside to fill up my hot cocoa. Because they blend together, I'm taking my medium one next, and I am using the bullet tip right here. I'm going to go right over the top of what I just did, pull it in a little bit closer to the center. Because even though it has peppermint in it, it is not clear. And then the light one we'll just add in the center here to give a feeling of a lighter reflection on the whole cup. Can you see how that, let me bring it a little closer. See how that just kind of blends together so nicely. I love that. If you need to go back with anything, let's see, I need a little bit more right here, I think. You can always go back in and then just blend it together with your lightest one again at the end. Okay, so that's how to kind of blend colors together. Whew, I love it. I also, if you notice on this piece that I cut off right here, I had already cut off one of these little things to make the cup cozy. Is that what you call it? The protector for your hands. I'm sure there's a word for it. Don't know what it is. Oh, wait, I don't want to put it on quite yet. Let's cut these out. I have marshmallows and my cup that we're going to cut out. Use our mini cut and emboss to do that. I already cut out the peppermint, the candy cane, so I don't have to worry about that. You could add a little bit of washi tape to hold these in place, but I'm going to cross my fingers that I can do this without washi tape. Wish me luck. Hold it down really well. Okay, success. Put my dies over there. No fussy cutting required. Okay, let's put our card together. This one I already cut out with some adhesive sheets on the back to make it really easy to adhere to the front of my card. Nothing's better than, let's see if I should have probably laid it out first. Peppermint. Yep, it needs to go up a little bit. Thankfully, I can redo that. because we've got to have a little bit of space. Nothing's better than peppermint. Oh, this one also has adhesive on the back. Man, sometimes I love it when I think ahead. Okay, we're back. All right. Getting the back of it off is going to be the trickiest. So sorry. There. Nothing's better than peppermint. Now I wanted this one to have the little piece on it like that. I'm going to bring back I'm going to give it a try again with my seal. It's less messy. Carrying that stripe kind of through the theme here. And I want to pop these two up. So I can put these right here on top. Well, I'm going to put them behind a little bit, like they're sitting into the hot chocolate. Never have too many dimensionals. Okay, they're all ready to go. I do want to add my little candy cane to my hot cocoa and this little guy. But let's first of all put on Except Maybe You. This is when I love saving all of the, when you're cutting down layers, sometimes you have these 1/2-inch pieces. Keep those because they make excellent little additions. Do you think I should put it on top of my cocoa? Should I put it down here? I kind of like it a little bit on and a little bit off. Finding edge of my dimensionals. So half of it's going to be hanging off, half of it's going to be stuck on the hot cocoa. And then you can even add this little guy. Let's see. Except Maybe You. Nothing's better than peppermint, except maybe you. Isn't that just adorable? Then you can open it up. Plenty of places to write on either side. And this one has a little bit of an edge all the way around it because we cut our designer series paper a little bit smaller, while this one goes all the way to the edge. Okay, one more that I've already finished and you can just observe. Just ogle at. I had my nests of winter sitting out on the desk. So I had a piece that I could just cut out of the designer series paper that matched my die. This one I had to fussy cut, but I liked this because when you put a little bit on this corner, when you open it up, you've got some of the decoration that pulls from the front of the card into the inside of the card. This piece on Earth came with the Christmas labels bundle, which you'll be seeing a lot more of in the next couple of months as we get ready for the holidays. It's a very versatile set because it has many classic Christmas greetings with some beautiful labels. And I just thought that worked so nicely. And you could have used, even if you're a Paper Pumpkin subscriber, you could have used one of the sentiments from October's Paper Pumpkin too to go with your beautiful diagonal lock card. Thank you, Carlene, and thank you for Nyla and anyone else who has been watching today. Thank you for your comments. That always helps for people to see this video. Thank you for sharing it with your friends. You can try it out yourself and put your version in the comments. I love to see what you create. You could also find all of the supplies that are needed for these cards in my Stampin' store at creativejuicebylonnie.com. Click on Shop 24/7 and you'll find my Stampin' store there. I'll also have all of these listed and up close photos for you later today, if all goes well. And then you can find the supplies that I used there as well. Okay, give that fun fold a try, and we'll see you next Monday here on Creative Juice by Lonnie. Thank you for joining me for a little bit of crafting on a Monday.